All right, go ahead.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Misguided Podcast, where we are intending to guide you to a better future. My name is Michael Johnson. I'm here with my co-host.
And my name is Juwan Rohan, and we're sitting here with Greg. Say what's up, man.
So I mean, it's Craig, but
Craig.
I get that
Craig.
I get that mixed up all the time. So well, I
Craig.
don't get it mixed up, but other people do.
Yeah. Well, how do you pronounce your last name? It's
It's
hard.
Craig Curelop. So I always say it's like Kerplop, but without the first P.
Okay.
For sure.
Curelop. Nice. My bad.
All good, dude.
So yeah, let's go ahead and start off by letting the audience know where you're from, and then we'll get into kind of what you do.
Sure, man. Yeah. So, my name is Craig Curlop. I live in Denver, Colorado right now. However, originally from Boston, Massachusetts, or I guess actually technically Worcester, Massachusetts. So yeah, moved out here to Denver in 2017 and absolutely love it and haven't really gone back since.
What do you love about Denver so much?
Man, I love a lot about it. Love the people. I love the weather. I love the real estate investing. I love
Nice,
that,
man.
bigger pockets. And there's a lot of like financial independence, real estate investing people out here that I've always looked up to.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, love the mountains. It's all good, man. The winters here are not very bad. So despite popular belief. So
yeah, no, they're really not though. They're not that bad. You don't get snowed in as much as you would in like Boston or something. Like, yeah, you come from the east, so you're like, this is easy. That's like Arizona to you over there.
Yeah, oh, it's nice. Yeah, today we're actually getting some snow, but with all these fires and stuff, I'm hoping the snow will actually tamper them down a little bit.
There's snow out there right now. All my friends are out there. I went to college in Colorado. I went to
I see that.
in Colorado Springs. So
nice, man.
We've been down to Denver plenty of times, and I love it down there. It is like a mini SF in a way.
Yeah, it's a unique little city.
Is.
No, we haven't had any snow yet, but not like today, like as we speak, it's about to like dump on us. So
oh, wow.
I'm hopeful it actually just like takes away these fires. I'm not usually liking snow. I'm not usually like a winter person, but this is the one time I'm happy for snow.
There you go. Well, that's cool. Okay. You brought up real estate. So what is it exactly that you do, and how'd you get into the real estate?
Yeah, so prior to moving here to Denver, Colorado, I was actually living in the Bay Area, San Francisco, California, working at a job that I absolutely hated. So I was kind of figuring out how I can get out of that. And I just realized that, man, I just did not want the traditional career. I did not want to work for 40 something years to sit on a 401k for the last 15 years of my life like that. I wanted to like live my life. And so I started thinking about passive income, thought of dumb idea after dumb idea, being in Silicon Valley, trying to think of some startup. Yeah, everyone's got an app out there, right? Like, so I was going to try to be one of those people, but it just wasn't me either. Didn't want to do that. So then I heard about real estate investing, and I was like, man, this seems like, 90% of the world's millionaires have real estate in their portfolio. It seems like a tried and true. It's been going on for thousands of years. Real estate investing has. So like, man, I don't need to be like the next Mark Zuckerberg. I don't really care about all the fame that comes with being Steve Jobs. I just want to build some wealth and provide for my family and do what I want. Exactly. Yeah. So I then stumbled upon Bigger Pockets, became obsessed with Bigger Pockets, listened to their webinars, the podcast, all that kind of stuff. And a few months later, I saw that they were hiring for a position that I was qualified for. So I, on a whim, just applied on the website. And you know how that usually goes into some abyss of nothing when you apply on the website. But I mean, I was pleased and surprised to hear that Scott Trench sent me an email back saying, they wanted to send me in for an interview. They interviewed probably, I guess, like 20 or 30 people, and somehow I slipped through the cracks and got the job. So that brought me out to Denver. And within 2 months of me moving out to Denver, I had purchased my first house hack, which was a duplex not far from Bigger Pockets office. Do your listeners know what a house hacking is, or should I scrap that?
Well, we've talked about it before, but go ahead and talk over it a little bit.
Okay, yeah. So house hacking is an old strategy, but a new term that actually Brandon Turner from Bigger Pockets created. And what it means is, you purchase a property with a low percent down. Typically, if you're in the military, you can do the VA loan, so 0%. But for all of us civilians, it's 3 to 5% down. You live in part of the property and you rent out the other parts, and it's either a 1 to 4 unit property. In the rent from the other parts, whether it's bedrooms in a single family or it's units in a multifamily, that covers your mortgage So you get to live for free, likely eliminating your largest expense. You're investing in real estate, so getting some experience. You're building wealth through equity and depreciation, and you're also building building your net worth through paying down that loan, really not with nothing out of your pocket. So it's just like an incredibly powerful strategy with incredibly high returns on investment because you're putting such little down. So it's, by far probably the best investment you can make, and it's the best investment you can get started in if you're going to do real estate investing.
Yeah, no, that's
nice. Yeah, that's a perfect explanation.
Yeah.
Thanks for breaking that down for people listening.
Yeah, awesome. Definitely. What was the position that Bigger Pockets hired you for?
Yeah, so I was the position was finance analyst. They were always a little weird with their job titles. I would just call myself the finance guy.
The FI guy. I get it. Yeah. I thought it was for refi, like refinance, because you did like Burr or something. But I get it.
Oh no, actually, that's not even why it is actually. So the FI is financial independence. Like that's what.
For sure.
Yeah.
Something about money.
Yeah, but maybe that's what spurred it was being the finance guy at Bigger Pockets.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I just did everything on the finance there when I first started. So.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So you started your journey with house hacking. Is that when you decided to write the book?
So no, I did, so I did my first house hack, did my second house hack. And then after my second house hack, as I was going on my third, they approached me and said like, hey, we need a house hacking book. Initially, they were thinking about having Brandon Turner write it. They were thinking about having Scott Trench write it, but they were like, extremely busy and not that interested in house hacking anymore. Like they're kind of beyond that, but I was still very much involved and very much helping other people house hack as well. So, it was kind of an obvious, to ask me to do it. And then because I was there and doing it, then I was able to write the book, and within a few months we had the book written, and then, went through the whole publishing process, and fortunate enough to get that book out, and it's been doing decently well.
Dude, it's doing great, dude. Audible, you're 5 stars. I can't remember the last time I seen a 5-star book.
Oh, really? No,
yeah, it's 5 stars, man. I just checked this morning. Congrats.
For sure. Yeah, congrats on the book, man. That's really exciting.
Yeah, thanks, man.
I'm definitely gonna purchase that myself, man.
Yeah.
Take a look at it.
I got some
credits. Let me know what you think too.
Absolutely will.
Yeah.
That's super dope. Yeah. So how was the process of writing that book? I mean, Mike has wrote a book over here about his entrepreneurial journey, and cool. I plan to as well. So how was that process?
Yeah, man. For me, it wasn't as hard as people think, because I just felt like I knew all the information that I needed to get on the paper.
Yeah.
And so once you have the outline written, that's the hardest part, is just like figuring out what goes where.
Right.
Then the book kind of just writes itself, right? And for me, I'm not sit down and crank it out in like a few hours. I'm like, just do like 30 minutes every day.
Yeah.
My goal was like 1,000 words a day every day for the next 90 days, and you'll have a book, right?
Yeah.
And so, my book was 100,000 words. So, it took me 100 days of writing.
Oh, for sure.
And I wasn't perfect, right? I missed some days in there. So it took me about 4 or 5 months to actually write the whole manuscript.
Yeah.
And then, then it goes back and forth with the editing and stuff. And that part's not too bad. But yeah, no, it was fun.
That's super cool.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. What book did you write?
So I actually started my entrepreneurial journey with using a platform called Turo. So basically it's a car sharing platform. I'm not sure if you heard of it.
Yeah, I've used it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. But I was able to make, and I still do it actually. I was able to make a significant amount of money on Turo. So I actually wrote an ebook, pretty much detailing how I started and how other people can do the same thing, basically. So it's a short read, but it's on Amazon, and still have the ebook out, and hoping to like write like a physical copy, like an updated copy, in the near future too. But that's what my book's about.
Is Turo still going now too? I haven't used them in a couple of years.
Yeah, they're actually doing really well. Yeah,
doing really well.
Juwan does Turo as well. We've been able to do really well through the pandemic as well. There's a lot of people still renting cars, and it seems like a lot of people have comfortability or renting from us rather than like the chain corporations.
Yeah, for sure. So do you have like a fleet of cars that you rent out? Or?
Yeah. So now I'm down to 7 cars right now. I had as much as 10 at one time, but it's because I do it all by myself. I don't have any employees or anything like that. But yeah, I have a small fleet, and And yeah, it's been quite a surprise. Like we both kind of thought it was going to drop a lot,
once
everything hit, but it definitely didn't. So
we were able to keep a profit like throughout the worst months of this year, like May, June and stuff. Which was very surprising to us. Like as long as we're able to pay the bill, that's fine. And then recently I'd say like the last 2 months has really picked up steam. Like cars are rented every day at full price, like no discounts. So blessing.
Cool.
That's
cool, man. I was always nervous about like scaling that because for me, like I always thought like, okay, cars are like a depreciating asset, so like
they are,
they use it, right? And so I was like, oh, it's not scalable, so I'm just gonna I'm gonna stop doing Turo, and I just went all on real estate. But it's interesting, man. That's cool that you're doing it. I mean, it works. I know people have
depreciation is great for taxes, though.
That's true.
It's great on paper.
And with a lot of my cars, I've been able to pay off the car within a year, or with my cheaper cars, and the more expensive ones takes about 3 or 3 years or so. It ends up.
Once you pay them off, it's
then your goal.
That's awesome, man. Well, good for you, dude. That's great.
Thanks, man. Much appreciated.
Thank you, man.
So I wanted to ask you about, because I know you said your first one was a duplex over in Denver, right? Where you're living, and then so I'm assuming you house hacked that for a year. And then did you move on to a second one immediately after that year was up, or did you take a little while before you got your next property?
Nope. I was exactly 1 year on the spot, man. Yeah. Okay. I mean, the power of house hacking doesn't come in getting one deal. It comes in getting multiple, like over the course of 3 or 4 years, 5 years, whatever it is. Gotcha. And really it's like it frustrates me a little bit because I see a lot of people kind of just holding out and waiting for the best deal. But really what is the best is when you get your second one and your third one. So you don't need the best deal, man. Just get a deal. Make sure the deal cash flows, right? You don't want a bad deal.
Right.
You can get like a good deal versus a great deal and still be way ahead. Because like waiting 6 months for a great deal, like getting a good deal today is better than waiting 6 months for a great deal.
Gotcha. That's really good advice. Because I know that's something that, us getting into real estate have really, especially me, like have kind of like struggled with, like trying to wait out for that perfect one. Rather than kind of just jumping into it, but definitely.
What was a key factor for you as far in house hacking? Was it that you were able to save the money because you weren't necessarily paying your rent? Was it that you were able to get some ground and just kind of what was the best and important factor for you?
So I mean, at the time, I think I was probably saving a little over $1,000 a month before my house hack, just for my job and whatever, and living below my means. After my house hack, I obviously did not elevate my means at all, and I was now making an extra, I think it was $400 a month plus not paying rent. Right.
Yeah, that's
so that's an additional $1,000 a month that I was putting in my pocket. So now I'm making over $2,000 a month that I can stash away and save. And 25, and plus some side hustles and other stuff going on. I was able to save 30 to 40 grand in that year. And so that's enough to put down another down payment, another house hack. Right? And then once you get your second one, once you getting your second one is the hardest. Once you get your second one, then you're just like, what?
Is it because finding a lender to have you purchase the second one, or why is it the hardest?
A couple of reasons. Biggest reason is that so I was Airbnb my first one, so that income couldn't be counted towards my debt to income ratio until 2 years in, right? So that's why it was hard for me to qualify. We ended up working it out with my lenders, so it did work. And then the second thing is just like I just invested most of my savings into this first house hack. The first one I had a couple of years to save up, right? And then I only have 1 year to do it. And so I just like a shorter time frame to save that same 30, 40K. But then once you get that second one, you start to feel some momentum, right?
It's a snowball.
That first one, the first one's rented out. You're still living for free. Now you got 2 properties cash flowing maybe like $1,000. So now it's like, all right, I'm saving, 12 to 1,500 from like my job, and as you get older and more experience, you get more raises and stuff like that. So, you're probably saving 1,500 for my job and 1,000 for each property. So now you're looking at about 3,500 a month, right? Savings. And that allows you to pretty easily get the next one. So then, it just goes from there.
That's super cool. How many properties are you at right now?
I've got So in Denver, I've got 8 units, 4 properties.
Okay.
And then I've got another 6 out in North Carolina. So I think it's 10 total properties, 14 units.
Nice.
How's investing in North Carolina? My lady wants to invest out there so badly. Well, she has family in South Carolina.
Okay, yeah. Where does she want to invest?
Not sure. She just like is always looking and trying to see where the deals are. But like, yeah, how's it investing out there?
I mean, it's great, man. I don't know if I picked like the best market, in terms of like appreciation or cash flow, but I've got some good friends out there that have a really solid like team, like great contractor, a phenomenal property manager. They're great agents. So when I was like, man, like, and I got burned somewhere else. So I was like, I'm just going to go with like what's easy here. And so, yeah, just this year I've picked up about 6 properties through them, and
oh wow,
they're all renting, doing well, and yeah, it's going great. Like I like it, and I like all them. So hopefully it keeps going.
Yeah, definitely. That's good to hear, man.
Yeah. Do you do do you switch it up and do Airbnb versus traditional renters, or do you just do only traditional renters? You mentioned Airbnb a minute ago.
Yeah, so I used to do Airbnb. I'm transitioning away from Airbnb because, well, honestly, I just kind of chickened out when COVID hit. So I turned on my Airbnbs into traditional rentals.
Okay.
It turned out that the market, the Airbnb market kind of got hit in like those first couple months, but it's back and just as it was before. So
yeah, it's strong right now.
yeah. For me though, it was less. I thought that it was just less scalable, and I was like, okay, I'm willing to take like when you first start out, you want the highest possible return on your money, so that way you can easily invest in the next one. Now I'm at the point where I can pretty easily invest in the next one, and so I'm okay with less money.
Gotcha.
And a lower return for like less work. Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So now it's kind of transitioning to making it passive, like truly passive. So
yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I'm an Airbnb guy as well, so I have a few Airbnbs I do. And I do them with apartments, so leasing, and then
the arbitrage,
short-term rental, rental arbitrage.
Yeah.
So I definitely get where you're coming from, because my goal is, I want to do the same thing and keep short-term renting. But if I was at a point where you're at, as Airbnb does take a lot of extra work, like a significant amount of extra work than having just a long-term tenant and having that on autopilot. So I think I would kind of go the same way once I get multiple properties. I think when I get my first 1 or 2, I'd probably still try to do the Airbnb method. But,
I think like there are systems you can put in place. Like I've done it. I don't think the last couple I had, like I didn't do much work. Like I had a lot of systems in place where I was maybe answering like a text message a week or something. Like that was the extent of my work. Still don't even want to do that. But my biggest concern there was like, if I'm going to go travel or like the thing is like those questions are pretty like immediate. You need to answer them quickly. It's way easier just like get it out property management. And then also you just like I don't like to have like my business rely on Airbnb.
Right.
You need multiple, like, you got diverse projects that's going on.
And something I've been hit with a lot of, obviously, during this pandemic is cancellations. And then you got Airbnb honoring guest cancellations at full price when they usually didn't. So I'm losing a bunch of money. Like, it's crazy. You're having a third party that really controls a lot of your business. So there's a downside of it. Yeah. To anyone listening who wants to Airbnb, that's definitely some good gems that you guys should know.
You got to write a book on that, Mikey.
I know.
Cool. I want to move on. What's the most fun project you've worked on and the most challenging one?
That's good, man. The most fun project has probably been probably the one I've been working on now. My most recent purchase here in Denver was we kind of took like a single family house, and it already had like so it was a 2-bed 1-bath upstairs, and they converted the downstairs to like a mother-in-law suite with a 1-bed 1-bath with a full kitchen. And they also converted the garage to like a master bedroom with a massive closet, like absurdly massive closet for like one person. And so what we're doing is we're kind of like splitting all those up into 3 units and making that master bedroom actually like a small little studio. So I'm going to end up living in the studio. And then rent it and then hacking out and then renting out the 2-bed 1-bath and the 1-bed 1-bath, and it's in a great area here in Arvada, Colorado, and
I know exactly.
I mean it's gonna cash flow like crazy. So nice. I'm excited for that. It's not done yet. It's been definitely had some, we had some issues with like the inspectors and stuff like that. So it hasn't been super easy, but it's still like fun. It's fun to kind of see it all come together.
That's super cool. Super cool. I earlier in the podcast, I remember you mentioned you got your AirPods from your girlfriend. So do you guys live together? Is this your house that you're at now, and then you're gonna move to the studio?
Yeah. So yeah, my these are my girlfriend's headphones. Yes. And we don't technically live together. I'm gonna move to the studio. She's house hacking too, actually.
Shit. Nice. That's super dope.
Yeah.
Super dope.
Yeah. So she's kind enough. Right now I was kind of like living in the van, which I convert. Well, I didn't convert it, but I bought it converted. And I mean, I'm just kind of realizing that like traveling with the van is amazing, but living in the van is quite inconvenient. Yeah. So she's been kind enough to let me crash here until, my place at Ridge Road is all finished up. Yeah. And that's the place in Arvada, we just call it Ridge Road.
Gotcha.
And and so that should be done hopefully here in the next week or two. And we're gonna get to furnishing that, and then I'm also gonna Airbnb that too sometimes. So
okay, cool.
Yeah.
Dope. Well, I got a couple of weddings out in Denver next year, so maybe I'll look for that Airbnb.
Yeah, let me know, man. I mean, we could probably just hook you up with a place.
Yeah. I went this year for a wedding, or was it this year? I don't know. It was last year for a wedding. And I miss Colorado so much. I forget about it when I'm here in the Bay Area, but then when I go back, it's like, damn. I remember why it's so beautiful out here.
Yeah. Why'd you move to the Bay?
No, I'm from the Bay. So after I graduated college, I came back home and then started working and
nice. Yeah. Where at in the Bay?
When I moved back originally, I went back to Berkeley. But now I live in Benicia, which is like Vallejo area. It's about 20 minutes, 30 minutes out.
Cool. So
yeah. And then Mikey's in San Leandro. So
yeah, I'm in the East Bay. I'm like right next to Oakland. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I remember taking the
BART.
The BART there past that.
Yeah, they got a nice BART out there. It's not BART, but I forgot what it's called. The train system out there. The one that goes to the down. Yeah, what is it called?
The light rail.
The light rail. Yeah, I like that.
I mean, it's like it's nice, but
it's way nicer than here, man.
Yeah, it doesn't take you anywhere though. It's like if you want to go downtown or the airport, it works, but that's it.
Very true.
It's the opposite of us. We're probably the most convenient transportation system in the United States, but it's pretty terrible when it comes to safety and cleanliness and everything else. So.
Very true. So let's go ahead and move on and talk about how has 2020 affected your business. 2020 has been crazy year. So I want to know how your business has been going and how have you been going, mentally, emotionally with all this craziness that's happened.
Yeah, 2020 has been a crazy year, obviously. And we don't need to list out the reasons why.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, for me, honestly, my business has been booming. And I think it's probably because, a lot of people think, the pandemic hit and everyone's in their homes. It's like a time to like sit back and relax. But I kind of did the opposite where I was like, all right, like, let's push because everyone else is kind of relaxing right now, right? Like the competition is sleeping. So, and this is when you are able to like kind of push ahead. So, I mean, I did by far the most deals we've ever done this year, both as an investor and as an agent. So it's been really good. Like from a money perspective, like it's been a really good year.
That's amazing.
Obviously from a mental perspective, I mean, it's been a different year, and I wouldn't say it's been like super difficult, but like, I mean, it's tough seeing, so many people butt heads against each other. The pandemic is one thing. I don't think that has really affected me mentally that much, but just seeing the stuff that happened over in Minnesota there and kind of just everywhere and the election and all that kind of stuff, that's been more taxing on me than anything. But yeah, and just coming to that realization, right? Like maybe we're gonna get real deep here, but hopefully you don't mind.
No, that's what we love.
I was totally under the impression that like, all of this like racism and stuff was like totally behind us, right? And we were like, yeah, man, we're Americans, we're all wanting like whatever. And then you see that stuff, and honestly, maybe like that's why it happened, right? Is like because like people like me, right? I'm a white male, like I don't even notice it, and so I'm like, okay, like shoot, this stuff is still real, it's still out there, and so it was that like even right now I'm like about to like tear up. So it was like crazy. So just like kind of realizing that and trying to help that cause too is, hopefully we can get past it. But
yeah, definitely. Yeah, thanks for. We appreciate you touching on that, man. As an ally, man. It's not a lot of people who are able to kind of openly admit that they don't really haven't really seen what's going on, which is, and you kind of touched on like that. It's part of what the issue is. So thank you for that, man, and even touching on it in general. We definitely appreciate that.
What's crazy, I appreciate it. What's crazy is that now in times like this, now we're actually seeing who's really who, and like, let's put it out there, but the racists are just coming out. Like, I've never knew how racist the Bay Area actually is. Like, really? Yeah, in this last year, we've seen crazy amounts of racism, racist acts. Like, for example, one was hanging nooses at Lake Merritt, which is one of the most diverse places in America. And so that just shook me, but also never knew how, like back in the 70s, I learned a lot about the history of Richmond. And like, it used to be a super, super, super racist area. And now it's pretty much super diverse. So that really, I like just learning that just was like, an eye opener. It's crazy, but
it is crazy, man. But, hopefully, I think it's as crappy as it sounds. I think it's like, I try to look at the silver lining, and there's a reason why everything happens. And I think it's always for the better. It's like, I mean, now we got a lot of people, hopefully on the side of actually fixing this thing versus just kind of living our lives. Right. So
very true. Very true. Yeah. Hopefully things get better. And tell everyone to go vote. So all you can do. Vote. I just sent mine in yesterday, actually. I just took it to the
2 days ago. Yep.
Yeah. So everyone listening, please go vote. We need your help. And we appreciate it. But let's go ahead and move on to the guided conclusion section. We have short time left. So my question for you today is, if you could build the perfect house and not house hack. This is just your house with your girlfriend, all right? Build the perfect house.
Hey, don't put the pressure on the guy.
I know. She's going to listen to this like, so running black cabinets, perfect house. What would it look like? You don't have to go into detail about every room, but kind of the outside of the house, what would it look like? And if you had a man cave, what would that look like?
For sure. Yeah. Maybe we should bring her on and she can describe it. We actually have talked about this quite a bit. So it's kind of funny. Nice. So I think what our dream place will be is somewhere kind of along like on the beach, oceanfront, be able to walk out our backyard and kind of be on the beach. Nice. I personally want like a really large, nice, high ceiling master bedroom with like a nice balcony out the back, so we can, have some coffee, read a book while looking at the water. We want, pretty large kitchen with 8 burner stove, all those things. We want to have like kind of like a holistic healing room where you've got like, we can like do
Zen
our
room.
like,
Zen
room. Yeah. She likes to take she wants to do like the cold water baths and like have a little sauna, do some yoga and some meditation in there.
Yeah.
We probably each have our own offices, or at least like one of us have an office and the other has maybe like a part of the house where kind of no one goes. And then, that's pretty much it.
Dope.
We won't go in.
Are you gonna have a man cave? Are you gonna have a man cave or anything?
Honestly, I don't really care. I don't care that. I mean, if the basement, if the basement is the common space in the basement isn't used for anything else, like we can make it into a man cave. But
you'll probably make it into a Airbnb for someone to rent.
Yeah. We'll have that be
all this open space. Like
we have to house hack. Yeah,
you have to.
Yeah.
That's super cool. That sounds pretty dope. I love the high ceilings. My fiance. Wow, that was like the first time I just got proposed. I just got engaged like 2 weeks ago. So it's kind of
nice, dude. Congrats, man.
Thank you. But my fiance, loves high ceilings. So that's like all we look at and stuff. But sounds like a beautiful house, man.
Yeah, definitely sounds like a great house, man.
Is there any advice that you want to give the listeners before we wrap up this episode? Any advice?
Yeah, I mean, I'd say like the best piece of advice that I ever got is consistency beats intensity every time. So, rather if you get real excited listening to these podcasts and listening to Bigger Pockets or reading a book, and you decide you want to do 3 hours a day every day for whatever. If you can do that, great. But most people can't go from 0 to 3 hours a day. So if you're looking to like learn more about this, or looking to write a book or whatever, I suggest just like 30 minutes a day, and just do it every day over the course of like 2 years, and you'll crazy how far you'll get.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's what I did when I started writing for Bigger Pockets and just blog posts, and I ended up writing like 60 blog posts in 2 years, which then leveraged me to be able to write the book, which but it's really just it's that consistency that trumps intensity every time, because so many people will just what's it called, so many people just give up, they'll just fizzle out.
Just be stagnant.
Don't be the guy. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. Thank you. I'm definitely gonna take that home. Consistency beats intensity. That's a really good takeaway from me.
Consistency beats intensity. Cool. And then you want to go ahead and shout out your book, your 5-star book.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, the house hacking strategies book that I wrote all about house hacking and how to achieve financial independence, just in a few years through real estate investing and through house hacking. You can find that at biggerpockets.com/househack. And then, you can follow me on Instagram. I'm at the FI Guide. If you're in the Denver area looking for an investor-friendly agent, you can go to thefiteam.com.
I saw that. So yeah, you're a real estate agent, right?
Yep.
Cool. I just passed my last prereq yesterday for my real estate license. So I'll be submitting my application today. I really am trying to get under David Green's team out here because he's not far.
Yeah.
I've talked to him before, but I've talked to him about like actually refining my house, but I'm actually trying to work for his team now. But I got to get that license. Yeah. It's amazing.
Congrats,
like,
man. Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm excited for the journey. So,
for sure, man. It's a fun
work, Juwan. Good work.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Man.
But yeah,
I'm actually closing on my first property here in the next few days.
Nice,
I had to get pretty creative because it was kind of hard getting as a full-time entrepreneur. It was kind of hard getting approved and stuff. So for my second one, I'm probably gonna need some need to get even more creative. So I'll probably connect with you after I read your book. To be honest, I'll probably send you an email or a DM. So you'll
do it up, man.
Look out for that. Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. Are you getting a house hack out there or?
Yeah, out here in the Bay. Yep.
Nice, man.
I mean,
Congrats,
not the Bay,
dude.
but in California.
California. Yeah. Awesome, man. That's good stuff. Let me know if the second one. I mean, usually if you have 2 years of income, it gets easier. But,
for sure. Yeah. I'm like going on my second year of being a full-time entrepreneur. So it was kind of tough, but yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks. Well, hey, thank you, man. We appreciate you for coming up here onto this Zoom. And we hope you have a blessed Sunday. Mikey, you got anything?
Nah, man, just wanted to thank you for your time. Really appreciate having Craig on. And yeah, man, it's a great podcast.
Yes,
Look
sir.
forward to the next one.
Well, this is the Misguided Podcast where we intend to guide you to a better future. And we hope you have a blessed day, man. We'll talk to you later, all right?
Thanks, man. See ya.
All right, bye.
All right.